So here's some images and some events that took place the other day when Donald Trump had his big day and the world changed. So enjoy. Here's started like this with my fellow friend Skywatcher, Greg, the Gospel Skywatcher. Some images I captured on his of the dragon, the morning sky. Things, yeah. Down the rabbit hole. Found these images of pyramids that are on an island off England. And here's Greg's dragon. And his Dragon Ball. Started buffering there, to the ball. Funny how it does that. There's the dragon. And here's the dragon. There's the flame. Can you see it? So it all led to this. Anyway, I had a search, I had a thought of the Tiger Charm. And I found a story from a colonel. He's not with us anymore. He obviously was a wise man because he got ousted for, speaking up against the third right. And I'll play a few clips of his story, and you should read the book or check out the interview. I'll leave a link for it in the description. So yeah, hope you enjoy it and spread the word. Word's gonna try and save us. God bless.
Flushing out a sniper, and he got me first, and the bullet struck me in the back of the head and came out under the skin of the back and knocked me on my tail, and I thought it was dead, ringing in the ear and so on, and my buddy that was with me, that was covering me, thought I was dead with blood spurting everywhere, and it may have knocked me out, I don't know. Our generals have removed themselves from the war. They've become, as I said earlier, corporate generals. They've become people who are involved in the politics of things rather than the war of things. And in becoming politicians, they've developed kind of a go along to get along attitude. And now this is wrong. What a general should do, if I am your general and you have tasked me to fight in Vietnam, let's use that situation, then I would say, Mr. President, you realize that the security of our country is not at stake there. Why are we fighting there? And you'd say, well, we're going to contain communism there. And then I would argue that perhaps we wouldn't be containing communism there. But if you said, General, it's my instructions that you will fight there, I'd say, right, sir, I will deploy my forces accordingly. Now, I need to fight there 12 divisions of infantry. I want to deploy them simultaneously, and I need to destroy the port of Haiphong. I need to destroy the dikes on the Red River Delta. I need to destroy Chinookville. The Sergeant York divisional and anti-aircraft system, which cost $2 billion, was quietly folded up because it didn't work. But after the taxpayer had spent that kind of money. So if you had generals who knew what the hell they were doing, you wouldn't have these problems. So what we've got to inculcate, and what our Congress has to do, and they're at fault in this whole military procurement thing too, is they've got to insist that we produce those kind of people, and those are the kind of people that we put stars on their shoulders, that the fighters from the past, not the writers from the present and the future.
What, if you're President of the United States, how do you know that a general has the right judgment when they come back at you? I mean, what makes you think that the President and the civilians don't have the right answer and they are ordering the generals to carry out their mission? And if just because the general comes back and says, really have this kind of time, is this a full-time job?
We made it a full-time job. we decided that it was such an important message that the war has changed so significantly from the time that, say, my ancestors came to America in 1622 and landed at James City, and they were firing old musket weapons at the Indians, and the Indians were firing bows and arrows back at them. But by the time I was to leave the military, we had awesome weapons in our inventory that one alone could bring about the destruction of humankind. We saw what Chernobyl brought about. Well, if Chernobyl was a bomb that was on a submarine or an airplane or at the end of a missile, it would be a very small one in what the Soviets and the Americans and the English and so on have in their inventory. So I felt that we had to bring out the point that through our story of war is no longer probably the means to resolve conflict. For example, one chapter which is called The Wolfhounds, which deals with Korea of 1950 and 51 and early 52. When it was completely done, locked in concrete, I'd gotten some information from the National Archives that really lent a lot of information to that particular chapter. And I went to Julie and said, look, golly, this is great stuff. We need to put it in. And she felt that we had reached a point of abandonment on that chapter. And so we had that kind of friction, a give and take friction, to get the book together and get it done. Ward became my teacher, and it caused me to kind of wake up. And so that I knew that he had the sensitivity to write an introduction that would really tell what our book was all about.
For some reason, I found myself in the MacArthur Museum in Norfolk, Virginia a couple days ago, and saw a film prepared by the museum